evening and welcome to girls varsity basketball. We're here at Panthers Court, Spring Lake Park versus St. Louis Park Orioles. We have a competitive match tonight.
Yes, we do, Rosie. I'm alongside Rosie. My name's Alicia Denius, and we're looking at a matchup between the St. Louis Park Orioles and the Spring Lake Park Panthers.
Absolutely. As of right now, overall, Spring Lake Park is 8-7, and we have St. Louis Park 2-10. So a little opposite, both sides of the spectrum, but you know that both teams want to bring it tonight.
Yeah. I got faith in this St. Louis Park team. They have an experienced head coach, Tim Senchen. It's his first year, but he came from a successful Hopkins program where he was the assistant coach there, so I know he's going to bring a lot of strategy to tonight's game.
All right, well, let's look at the standings.
North Suburban standings, Cooper Hawks leading the pack, 6-0 in the conference, 10-5 overall. Benil Chisago right behind them, and then our Spring Lake Park sitting at number 4 in the conference with a 5-2 record, and then overall 8-7. North Branch is their next matchup, who sits right under them with 5-3 in the conference. So we're looking at a competitive standings.
All right, then we're showcasing St. Louis Park, Mara Henderson, number 3, and she is an all-around player.
Yeah, she's a freshman, the only freshman on the St. Louis Park team, and she's starting, which I love that. She's averaging 11 points per game, and, you know, just an all-around fighter. I'm excited to see her on the court tonight.
Absolutely, and then with Spring Lake Park, we have Brianna Semenko here, and she's a senior. She has a little more experience.
A little more experience. She leads the team in points and in rebounds, as you can see, averaging 14.3 points per game, 8.4 rebounds. So she's having a great season so far, and she seems like a very seasoned player.
Absolutely, and we got the chance to watch them warm up. Both teams look like they're excited to play. You know, the one thing Spring Lake Park had to say is that we always try to be up-tempo, man-to-man defense, really get in their face type of play, versus, you know, St. Louis Park, they have a young team, and what they try to do is really work as a team and build their confidence and bring it in defense.
Yeah, St. Louis Park only has 2 seniors on the team compared to, I mean, at least 5 seniors on the Spring Lake Park team. But like I said, I think St. Louis Park will bring a lot of strategy tonight. Spring Lake Park may want to push the tempo, but I think the Orioles have enough patience to slow it down and play their game as well.
All right, well, we'll be able to watch them soon after this short break.
Known for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy!
for your full-service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy!
if you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy!
I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy!
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
With gold at all-time high,
Take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Frilly Blaine. We buy gold at your exchange.
Join Ben Hale every Friday on North Metro TV News.
Check it out. Oh, that is magnificent.
Here comes the big one, Elizabeth.
I love it so much. I'm feeling a little guilty on account of me being married. There are 8 wonders in the world.
I can't believe it.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Okay.
No, it's real.
Ooh, yes.
And we're back once again. We're here at Spring Lake Park for girls varsity basketball. We're excited. 2 of us girls broadcasting out here. I'm Rosie Erickson with Alicia Denyes.
That's right. I think we are the first 2-girl duo for North Metro TV ever, maybe?
Well, I hope so. You know, perfect night to do it, seeing that we're watching girls basketball. You know, we both played high school and some college basketball, so hopefully we'll be able to bring you the basketball game as good as we can. As we see here, calling the starters out, and we'll get started soon.
And for Spring Lake Park, number 43, a 6'3" senior, Christina Wakeman. St. Louis Park head coach Tim Sunshine. Spring Lake Park head coach Lori Thompson. Let's play basketball.
All right, we're getting ready to play. You know, leave it to North Metro TV to allow 2 of us girls. You know, we're both learning. I just graduated college, and Alicia here. You have a year or 2 left?
Graduating in May.
All right, and where do you go right now?
University of Iowa. Go Hawks.
Absolutely. All right, once again, for Spring Lake Park starters, if you didn't get a chance to hear it, we have Lexi Ludke, Brianna Semenko, Jamie Beck, Jordan Zickerman, and Christina Wakeman, 6'3".
That's going to be tough to guard that one.
And as we spoke to the coach, she has a scholarship at UW of Milwaukee.
Surprising tonight, she is not jumping the ball, though. For Orioles, we got number 3, Mara Henderson, Jane Henderson, Amy Schultz, and for the big girls down low, Caitlin Ederer, and then Skylar Nagrowski.
Spring Lake Park starting out strong. You know, had a few shots out, just couldn't get that last rebound. Now we see Mara taking it down as point. See the freshman there, number 3. Giving and going, Mara breaking to the basket. Missed pass there. Trying for the post, just not passed soon enough. And now we see Spring Lake Park bringing it back. We have a whistle, possible holding. All right, that was a personal foul on Caitlin Ederer. Now we'll see Spring Lake Park, number 22, Jordan Zickerman throwing it in here. Gets it down low for the 3. Just missed. Great rebound by Wakeman, putting it back up. Just missed. St. Louis Park with the rebound.
Oreo's doing a nice job there blocking out in order to get the rebound, because, you know, you're not going to have the height against Christine Wakeman, but if you block out correctly, then you have a chance to fight for those rebounds.
Right, when you're a young team, and especially when you're smaller, you have to play smart rather than use your size. St. Louis Park trying to work it in. Panthers pressuring. Shot off by Mara, just missed. St. Louis Park. With the block there was Mara. You see that? She went all the way from the other end of the court and deflected the ball down there.
Yeah, she's definitely already showing how smart of a player she is. Reading where the next pass is going and going to that point. We'll check out this replay here. Spring Lake Park trying to pass the ball, but Mara already broke down into the lane to intercept it.
All right, what you missed is the fact that St. Louis Park just recovered the ball, and now they're working it around the outside once again.
We're seeing the ball go through Mara's hands quite a bit already.
As we said, she is only a freshman, but she is a team leader. See the post struggling there. Mara taking a shot once again, just off. Wakeman with the rebound now. We're coming back down. We'll see if they take that three, and they do. Once again, just short.
Already tonight, it looks like both teams need to, you know, maybe slow it down a bit, maybe take better shot selections. It seems like they're quick to get it to the basket.
Semenko with the throw-in. Get it to Lexi. Ludke passing around. Great job working it in for Spring Lake Park, taking every shot they have. You know, it looked like she was just on the line, but that was Zickerman with the shot. It looks like they're going to give Zickerman a 2-point there. Great steal by Lexi Ludke. Went in for the short jump stop, missed. Now Orioles bringing it back. Mara with the shot and the 2-point cha-ching. Point guard Lexi Ludke taking it down once again, really quick underneath.
Just having no problem at all with Orioles half-court trap.
Caitlin Etter trying to bring the ball down, being pressured. Mara taking that shot once again. Great rebound by Spring Lake Park. Ludke to Beck. Beck taking it in. Great pass to Wakeman. Wakeman trying to shoot that. Just missed. Orioles will recover. Great job by Mara Henderson drawing the foul there. You know, she was just dribbling, but she went into the players instead of drawing them out.
Take a look at this replay. Going in for the drive. Ludke tried to get a hand on it, but they're going to call her for the foul instead.
She's a confident player, Mara, you know, taking it in with confidence and drawing that foul.
Which is extremely impressive for a freshman. She doesn't seem intimidated at all by the upperclassmen.
One thing we know for sure Orioles have to be careful is letting Mara Henderson foul, because as you see, she just got her first foul.
I'm not too upset with that foul, because with the breakaway, sometimes it's smarter to get it on the floor than while they're going up for the shot instead.
Instead of 2 shots, absolutely. Working around the arc. Spring Lake Park. Long pass. 3-point shot. Great shot by number 22, Jordan Zickerman.
You know, that is the most much of an offensive style that I've seen from Spring Lake Park tonight. They took their time, they made good passes, and it paid off.
Worked it around, got Zickerman both times. We just saw Wakeman going for the block, but they called the travel first, so she will not be called for a foul. We saw Zickerman with the 3 there once again, making those points, getting the points on the board. Now it's 5-2 for Spring Lake Park. As Alicia said, you see them really working around, waiting until they have that perfect chance. And that worked really good. Wakeman's there. They're just not going in.
She needs to knock those down if she's going to really assure her presence down there on the block.
Well, once again, we'll have Spring Lake Park throw in on the outside. Jenna Murphy throwing it in. Zickerman at point.
Great job by Spring Lake Park breaking that half-court defensive pressure.
Wow, Jenna Murphy, you know, she's not very big, but she took that shot and got a rebound.
You know, rebounds, it looks like, are going to be important. I've seen many putbacks already, or attempted putbacks tonight in this game. So as long as they're blocking out those big boys and getting, or big girls in this case, I guess, and getting them, then they could be really useful by the end of the game.
Right, and look at this. If she went for her own rebound, she would have got fouled, and now she has 2 shots. So, and we just saw her make her first.
There she goes, fighting for the rebound against all the Oreos. There was 3 Oreos and just 1 of her, and she ended up getting it. It just goes what a little hustle can go a long way.
Took a little more time, but she still got those 2 points. Now we see pressure by the Panthers. Recovering the ball, great teamwork there. Now 23, Jenna Murphy scoring those 2 points.
The perfect place to trap a girl is right in the corner of their own side of the basket.
And once again, Panthers pressuring enough, making them travel. You know, as I did talk to Lori Thompson before the game, she did say, you know, they're going to pressure them. They're going to do man-to-man, you know, as we've been seeing already. A little flustered there. Mara Henderson recovering, taken in for a layup, but fouled. Body, she will take 2 shots.
Personal fouls on Jenna Murphy. Spring Lake Park, that is her first, team second. Mara Henderson at the line.
Knocking down free throws as a freshman is another thing that shows a lot of poise and a lot of confidence, you know, coming into this game as an underclassman.
Absolutely. Great 2 points there by Mara Henderson, and we did see number 32 sub in Autumn Ballestero. Rebound by the Orioles, but they're flustered, throwing it around, and now it would be a jump ball. It'll stay on their side. Orioles will have the ball.
See if Oreos gets another shot at breaking this Spring Lake Park full court deep.
Jane Henderson throwing it in, looking for open player. Nets. Look at the pressure by Spring Lake Park, not allowing any movement there. And once again, we're gonna call pushing this time, not a jump ball.
We'll take a look at this. You see Autumn Ballestero's mistake there was taking that 1 dribble, because then she picked it up and she didn't have an opportunity to keep continuing that dribble, and she was forced to pass when she was trapped.
Well, that was a great shot by Taylor Loisel there. 3-pointer. Just bringing their points up once again. Wakeman recovering the ball. Great save, and then pass back into Murphy, making 2 points. They're just creeping up on the scoreboard. It's already 14-4 for Spring Lake Park. Orioles looking to respond at this time. Really working around the arch. Mara taking it in, looking for that layup. But she's pressured. It's like every time they go to dribble or anything, they're going to have 2 Spring Lake Park Panthers just collapse on them.
Well, that's the thing. Right now, they're turning and dribbling right away. When they need to turn and establish, see if there's a pass first, look at their options, and then decide if they want to dribble or not.
Right, they switched sides, and we saw that passing worked for them. Seeing another shot off. Orioles recovered. It'll stay Orioles. It was off of number 31, Taylor Loisel.
Yeah, she was not happy with that call. She thought it was off of the Oreos.
We'll probably see that a lot. Unhappy. All right, it looks like the refs are talking to Tim Senshin with some confusion.
Coach of St. Louis Park. His team has the ball, so I'm wondering what he's questioning.
Right. Possibly thinking it was a foul. Once again, we see that pressure. This time the girls did collapse and were open. Mara Henderson working it down, getting it great fast, butt stuff. Looks like a travel, and we'll see what they call. It is. Travel by Jenna Murphy. Orioles will have the ball on the outside.
We'll take a look at this. Number 32, Autumn Ballesteros. You know, she made the good play, the one dribble and the put up, but her size just didn't help her out there.
Right. And that is something I was going to note, is that, you know, we see her out there, Ballesteros, half the size of Wakeman.
Yeah.
You know, and so for her to take that layup, that was gutsy.
First foul on Jenna Murphy.
You see the Orioles, 45, Abigail Olsen taking 2 shots. These girls have been fantastic tonight shooting those free throws.
Well, this is a great time for St. Louis Park to creep up on that scoreboard. Right now it's 5-14. The time is stopped, so this is the time to get on the board.
With being so small compared to Wakeman especially, you know, that's what they're going to have to do, is just utilize that and draw the fouls. Panthers looking to respond. They went down fairly quickly, rushed to maybe a little too much and gave the ball up. Orioles coming back. Like I said before, looking to draw that foul. I believe it's before the shot. So Orioles will have it underneath.
Spring Lake Park is liking these defensive traps, but what they need to realize is that the trap isn't enough. They don't need to reach in right now and get those fouls.
Just their size enough, just hands up. That could accomplish the job. All right, they're warning them about lane violations. Watch that 5 second. Ederer looking to throw it in, looking for some players to work around. Feeling pressure, Ederer gave it up, and the refs looks like they just keep calling it. So once again, I think we're gonna have the Orioles underneath.
I think Brianna Hatton, 24 for Spring Lake Park, was on the line there when she intercepted the pass.
This time it worked out. They got it in, but then gave it up. We see Ludke. Loisel dribbling it, getting it to the top. Open player, great shot by Bryn Murphy. Bryn Murphy knew to stay there. She was right at the top of the key. Took that perfect, pretty much free throw.
Bryn Murphy, 6'1", another tall player for Spring Lake Park. And there she goes with a huge block. You know, right now she's looking like a very versatile player. I love the girls that can block, but also hit the shots close to the top of the key. We'll take a look at this replay here. Mara Anderson going against the vet, Bryn Murphy. And, you know, it's tough. That one's just not going to go.
What do they do, though, you know, when they're going for those layups, the big girls? Do they stop and take a jump shot, or do they commit and take the layup?
I think at that point you really have to commit to the layup, but maybe
Draw the
work
foul.
pressure on drawing the foul, you know, dipping that shoulder down and everything. Sometimes you got to create the contact yourself.
Well, we saw the Panthers recover the ball, take a few shots, not dropping it, so now we have the Orioles coming back for a layup, but they're going to call travel. That's 4 of the game now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're seeing a lot of traveling tonight. I just think both teams
Slow
are
it
feeling
down.
the defensive pressure. Maybe you want to slow it down a little bit.
Spring Lake Park Panthers once again. We see Lexi taking the ball down as point guard. Getting outside, they're looking to bring it around the arch, create some open spaces, and take those 3 points. What a great shot by Lexi Ludke, making that 3.
It's got to build some momentum for Spring Lake Park.
All that pressure by the Panthers created a traveling call.
I think Lexi Ludke was thinking reaching foul. Wasn't too happy about the traveling call.
Well, we see Henderson throwing it in. You know, that's something that's been tough for them so far. You know, can't quite get it in to their players they want to because of the pressure by Spring Lake Park.
Yeah, tonight I'm seeing a strong defensive tone. I haven't seen too much of an offensive presence from both teams. Seems like they're forcing a lot of pass, but I think as the game goes on, they'll figure out, you know, the opponent's defense and work more offense into their game.
And both head coaches did say they're going to play defensively, so that's probably why we're seeing this. You see a personal foul by Lukey.
Lexi Lukey of Spring Lake Park.
Orioles will get it on the near side. Eder will throw it in. Getting it in to Henderson. Mara Henderson getting it into the other Henderson. Henderson not quite sure what to do. She needs her players to move around. Trying to get that layup, but bouncing the ball off her foot.
I think it was a good take, though. You know, if your players aren't coming and moving, sometimes what you got to do is drive the basket, force their defenders on them, so then you can create a pass off the dribble.
Absolutely, otherwise they'll get called for, you know, wasting time and everything. So Spring Lake Park with a little bit of an odd pass, but getting it to their players underneath. Wakeman taking that shot. First 2 points of the night. Great post move, really spinned underneath.
And those are the kind of shots, as a coach, I would expect her to take. You know, sit down in there, the block, use her size, use those spin moves, and knock them down.
I myself being a post, you know, you see her just waiting for that pass or waiting to box out. And, you know, she's utilizing what she's going to be good at. So far, I feel like even though it's her only 2 points of the game, she's done well. You've seen her block a lot, be down there on defense, underneath. They haven't allowed any layups. Orioles looking to get it in. Panthers quickly recover the ball, get it down for a layup. Wakeman with the rebound and foul by the Orioles. I believe is on number 10, Henderson.
Foul wasn't on the shot, so we'll get it underneath the basket there.
Good pressure by the Orioles. Panthers were able to recover, get it to Wakeman, get it back outside for the three. Just a bit off. Look at this rebounding by this Panthers. That's for this one play. They get the rebound and then they wait for that perfect play. Jordan Zickerman once again with the 2 points.
Yeah, Spring Lake Park is taking a lot of shots, but they're allowed to take a lot of shots because they're getting those rebounds. So if they miss the first or second, they're getting that third rebound and putting it up.
That was very impressive the way they got those 5 rebounds. You know, every time they throw it back out, look for the open pass, and work it around until they had that open play. Lexi taking another shot there. This time it was off. Orioles turning it around. Looks like they're going awfully fast. Maybe a layup. Instead we see a short jump shot. Underneath again, we're gonna call. Did you see the call there, Alicia?
It looks like she carried the ball while she was dribbling.
Substitution for St. Louis Park. Back in the game, number 12, Amy Schultz.
Halfway, a little more than halfway through the first half, you know, we're seeing a lot of pressure by Spring Lake Park, and the Orioles just trying to recover and get some shots on the board and get some points on there. Once again, a great 3-point shot by Lexi Ludke. What else can you expect from her at this point?
Actually, that's Jamie Beck for Spring Lake Park.
Blonde hair, sorry.
Yeah,
That
same
got me.
size.
But you know what?
I can see why it's confusing.
Great shot by them. Either way, both players really working it and taking those 3-point shots.
And as we can see, it's a shot that Spring Lake Park likes to take. They've taken quite a few already tonight.
Orioles, once again, trying to work it in, but miss pass, and it will be Spring Lake Park ball.
Timeout, Spring Lake Park.
All right, we have a full timeout, Spring Lake Park. If you were the Orioles, what would you be telling your players right now?
I would be telling my players, slow it down. Spring Lake Park has a big lead. I would focus on what we can do offensively to, build more of a strategy. And then defensively, I feel like they should almost go to maybe a 3-2 zone, make sure they got people on the arc, blocking those threes, but also willing to jam pack down low when they need to get those rebounds. And most importantly, box out. Or if Spring Lake Park is boxing out on the offense, get around them, fight for those rebounds, because Spring Lake Park, they aren't making their first or second shots. They're making their third and fourth. They're just getting the rebounds where it's allowing them to put up those third and fourth shots.
And that is one point I would make for them, is to box out, because then they'd be calling over the back rather than, letting them get the rebound like we saw in that last play, 5 rebounds. All right, and then Spring Lake Park, they're doing really well overall. When you say, defensively, we see so much pressure there. And then offensively, they're working around the arch, shooting at the key, shooting the 3 points, getting on the board, 25 points.
One thing I'm kind of impressed by tonight so far is there hasn't been one standout player. It's definitely been a team effort. Many girls are getting off the bench and rotating in, so it's definitely, this lead right now isn't due to one girl on the team.
Henderson at the point. If you want to order a DVD of this game or any other, order it at northmetrotv.com. This has been an exciting game tonight. Girls varsity basketball. Taking another shot for Spring Lake Park. Orioles getting the rebound that time. We did see them box out there. Looks like they have slowed it down. I'm sure that's what their coach has told them. They're starting on top. Henderson working around the arch. We're going to go in for a layup, but the brick wall, was there. So we're going to have 2 shots, I believe, for Abigail Olsen.
And the foul was on Christina Wakeman, that is great strategy for St. Louis Park at this point. They want her to draw those fouls, get on the bench, hopefully get in foul trouble.
Substitution in for Spring Lake Park. Back in the game, number 23, Jennifer Burkett, and number 31, Taylor Roycell.
Great free throw by Olsen. Wakeman throwing it in, getting it to one of her guards. Working it around the arch once again. Looks like we're going to be a line call. So Orioles will have the ball.
Substitution to Spring Lake Park. Back in game number 12, Brianna Semenko.
Eder with the throw-in, getting it to Henderson. Mara passing it back to Eder. Getting it to Olsen. Olsen being trapped right there, not knowing really who to throw it to. Her one dribble is up, and now they'll pass it back down low, take that one shot. But there was a tip there by number 12 for the Panthers, Semenko. Trapped here. We're going to have a personal foul by Henderson.
Mara Henderson did a good job. If you look here. Oh, here's the contested shot by Brianna Semenko. Got a tip on it, which is a great job coming off the bench. She looked alive and ready to go on defense.
A little bit of an odd pass there. Orioles were able to recover it. Henderson, number 10, at point now. Looking for that open player. Now we get to Mara Henderson for the 3, and it is a bit off. But that was a good idea instead of bringing it down. Take a short layup here, and it will be good for the Panthers. Jordan Zickerman. Starting to see a lot of Zickerman. Over eager. The Orioles accidentally throwing it out.
We'll check out Zickerman's break to the basket here. She does a good job, a good pace. She knew she had time. She felt the Oreo on her back, but enough time to get the shot off. Didn't rush it at all. Good finish.
Again, short passes, working around the arch, looking for one of those great shots they've had many of. Top of the key, getting it down to the post. Great short little post-up move and layup by Semenko. Tipped by the Panthers. Another line call. Surprised to see so many line calls.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of little turnovers tonight, you know, more mechanics than anything that are very avoidable where, you know, just both teams need to slow it down a little bit and those things wouldn't happen as often.
Orioles once again trying to move it around. At least we see a lot of great short passing right now. This time Henderson looking to take that short little layup, but clearly getting blocked.
Another big block for Bryn Murphy. Check out this replay. Henderson coming in for the layup. Bryn Murphy's like, nope.
Not in my house.
I'll see you later.
That's tough. But you know, it's good to at least try to make that layup. And we'll see another traveling call. Orioles will have the ball.
You know, as a player, blocks are so deflating when, you know, if you're on the offensive side of them. So that's got to build momentum for Spring Lake Park.
Great shot by the Orioles. 3-point by Eder. It's a great time right now. They were down by a lot, still, you know, 29-9, but getting on the board is key. Spring Lake Park working it around, getting it down low to the post. We'll see a personal body foul by Amy Scholes. We'll have 2 shots.
First of all, on Amy Schultz. First team foul.
Bryn Murphy taking 2 shots.
Do you guys want to do the halftime interview?
Bryn Murphy. Great shot there. Nice and clean. 1 more shot. Two more on the board by Bryn Murphy. Now will the Orioles, can they respond at this point? I think they can. We'll see a lot more threes coming out them, I bet. Henderson looking for that post move, taking another 3. Oh, she passed it instead, which was a good idea because she drew the foul. And we'll see if it was on the shot.
Personal foul on Bryn Murphy.
It was, so Amy Scholes will take 2 shots.
Amy Schultz is on line. Should be 1-1.
Great rebounding by Panthers. Looking to get it to their post. They keep looking inside. Instead, we see another great 3 by Lexi Ludke. Amazing shots from that girl, number 11. Now we see Henderson passing it to the outside, looking to work it down to the post, taking that 1 shot, but the pressure by the post defensively is strong. Passing it down to the post once again, looking for that bank shot, not quite enough. It will be Panthers ball. Great steal by the Orioles. Now they're coming down pretty quick. Great job by the Panthers getting back down on D. Henderson, looking to take a shot. Is it going to be a body call? Yes, it is by Wakeman. So we'll have 2 shots for Henderson.
First of all, on Christina Wakeman, Spring Lake Park. That is her 2nd personal, team 8. Jane Henderson at the line. Substitution, Spring Lake Park back in number 22, Jordan Zickerman.
For Spring Lake Park, we see Zickerman coming back in. We see Jane Henderson at the line taking her second free throw. Points per game, averaging 5 points. Quickly getting it back down with a short shot, a bit off, but they knocked it out of bounds and it'll stay there. Hatinen at the line, throwing it in. Great steal by the Orioles, looking for a layup. Popped out of there by the Panthers, number 31, Taylor Loisel. Orioles ball underneath. Henderson will throw it in. Quickly taking a shot there. Possibility for a three. Good idea, just didn't finish. We really see the Panthers really working around quickly, getting back down really fast. Keep taking those shots underneath and those 3 points. Once again, we're going to see her break it down and a foul on Henderson. Orioles may be getting in a little bit of foul trouble. Going to have to be careful there.
Personal fouls on Jane Henderson.
2 shots for Zickerman, who just came in. Excuse me, not 2 shots, bonus shots. All right, we'll see a shot by the Orioles, a bit off once again. Bounced around underneath, missed pass, take another shot, but shot down. But she did recover the ball, so that is good. Henderson at the top of the key. Looking for her help and dribbling it out of bounds. We see Henderson there with her hands to her side, just really looking for help there. Getting it underneath, bringing it back out. We see them really opening up for that 3-point shot. Great idea. You know, she was wide open, just missed there. Just under a minute now. Orioles looking to gain as many points as possible. We're still seeing that pressure from the Panthers. And that'll be a call, personal foul on Zickerman.
Personal fouls on Jordan Zickerman of Spring Lake Park. That is her first, team 9. Amy Schultz at the line.
And we'll be in bonus, so if she makes this, she'll have another. If she misses, they'll hopefully rebound. Wakeman with the rebound. Panthers looks like they're quickly moving down once again. They see the clock's at 30. Great little move by Zickerman, getting her own rebound, taking another shot. Just couldn't finish. Just under 30 seconds, the Orioles can slow it down, take their time, get the last shot, but unfortunately we'll see a travel there. All right, there's time for them to slow it down. 21 seconds, easily take 1 shot. No need to rush. We see the same thing we see every time. They worked it underneath, but they would have had that perfect layup, but instead foul by Henderson underneath before the shot. So 1-1. Zickerman with a perfect free throw, so she'll have another. We saw Henderson just foul, getting Zickerman to the line, but Henderson has 3 fouls before the first half. Zickerman with 2 great shots, but as I was saying, 3 fouls for Henderson before the half. They're gonna have to be careful with just 8 seconds left. They can't risk that. Orioles, 3 seconds left. Taking the shot. Great 3 at the buzzer. What a shot by 23, Caitlin Ederer. You know, great way to end the first half. And, you know, after this short break, we'll see Alicia with some interviews.
for its vineyards and hilltop villages, Umbria is also known for its delicious tasting pizza. Made traditionally from the finest ingredients, Umbria Pizzeria will make you taste the difference, smell the love, and transport you to Italy.
La cena è pronta.
Dinner's ready.
You might even begin to feel like an Italian.
Delicioso.
Umbria Pizzeria, turning taste into memories.
If you need seamless gutters, whether the job is large or small, you can say,
I know a guy.
For your full-service landscaping, you can say,
I know a guy.
If you need commercial or residential lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy.
I'm Charlie Walker, and if you need professional seamless gutters, landscaping, and lawn care, you can say,
I know a guy.
And it's halftime here at Panthers Court. Spring Lake Park versus St. Louis Park. Currently 36 for the Panthers, 13 for the Orioles. And we have Alicia with Murphy down there for the Spring Lake Park Panthers. Let's see what she has to say.
Thank you, Rosie. I'm alongside Spring Lake Park sophomore Bryn Murphy, who has had a few major blocks for her team so far this half. Bryn, how important is that defensive pressure from down low for tonight's game?
I think it's really important because most of their shots has been down low, so we have to make sure to stop it from down low because that's basically all what they're shooting. Yeah.
You guys are definitely bringing the heat defensively. Offensively, what do you need to work on in order to have a successful second half?
Mostly our shooting percentage. We've been working on that a lot, so we just have to focus on our shots and make them the second half, and that's it.
All right, thank you, Bryn, and good luck second half. Thank you. Back to you, Rosie.
As you hear that, she has had some great blocks out there. You know, being 6'1", that's what she does. We'll look at some highlights from the first half. We saw a lot of the Panthers out there. Zickerman taking that shot, great shot. You know, you saw that right out there, taking that shot, no time wasted. Once again, taking a three-pointer, so wish, why not? And then we see Bryn Murphy, who we just saw, underneath, getting that one little short post move. Once again, there you see her block, not in her house. Taking an outside shot for a post, that's impressive. And then game summary. As you see on there, we have for the St. Louis Park Orioles, 13 points, 15 rebounds, 5 out of 10 free throws, 50% we see there, and 2 out of 3 3-points. All right, and then as you see, Spring Lake Park on there, but we'll be back after this short break.
In the nation, our agents are always there, helping make sure that when your life changes, your nationwide insurance coverage changes too. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation where protection is personal.
Nationwide is on your side.
In Anoka County, contact Twin Cities Insurance Group, your nationwide insurance agent.
With gold at all-time high, take that rope and say bye-bye. Earrings, bracelets, rings, and chains. We buy gold at your exchange. Don't send your gold to someone strange. We buy gold at your exchange. Spring Lake Park, Fridley Blaine. We buy gold at your exchange.
And we're back just after halftime. We see the girls getting pumped up for the second half. Currently, Panthers 36 to Orioles 13. I'm sure the Orioles coach saying, don't be defeated. You're on the board. You can come out strong. Be confident. and see what you can bring the second half.
It's a beautiful thing about basketball. There's 2 halves, and it ain't over till the second one's done.
Starting out strong, Orioles. Oh, I spoke too soon. They accidentally threw it out. But, you know, they look like they were trying to start out really quick, seeing that the Panthers are really moving it around. All right, we see the Panthers. They change up their point guard quite often, it seems like. Really, whoever's there. You see Wakeman with a great post move, posting up strong, getting those 2 points on the board for the first 2 in the half. Orioles looking like they need to slow it down. Missed pass twice now. Looking to take a shot right there. Great little, wasted time, not at all. Amy Scholes, to correct myself, she didn't waste any time. And she waited. Panthers getting it to Wakeman once again underneath. Instead of taking that shot, she chose to throw it and knocking it out. All right, Orioles matching each other's points for the first half, just a few minutes in. Henderson with the ball, getting it back up to the top. Waiting for their teammates to move around. Mara with a great shot. One step, short jump shot. Getting the ball again is Mara Henderson, but looks like the ball will be knocked out and there will be no foul there. Great play by Mara, you know, she took that little shot, made it, and then stole the ball, came back and shot it again. Although she did lose it, they did keep the ball. Once again, taking her time, taking that shot, just a little miss. But getting the rebounds here, what the Orioles needed to do.
I feel like we're seeing more offensive rebounds tonight than defensively.
Right.
So Mara out almost a 3 there, was just a little inside the arc, but a great shot, a great take, knocked it down.
Foul called on Amy Scholes for the Orioles. It'll be Panthers underneath. Zickerman getting it in to Ludke. Ludke as their point guard. Just good ball handling skills. Zickerman throwing it back in. Stole by the Orioles. Seems like in the second half it's so far been a closer matchup.
Yeah, definitely no strong presence from either team right now of who's, you know, holding the momentum of this game.
Seeing a lot of shots off both sides. Looked like that was either shot wrong or, you know, it was touch there and great defense. We'll take a look
at the replay here. Jamie Beck going in. Looks like she's going for the layup, yep, and you see a tip off from the Orioles there.
Panthers once again getting it down to their post, and we'll have 2 shots underneath.
Personal foul on Amy Scholes, St. Louis Park.
Manko taking those 2 shots.
Manko at the line.
Great shot. One more. Beautiful. 2 shots dropped.
That's one thing I've been impressed with tonight. It's free throws. These girls definitely know how to shoot.
High school basketball, it's been really impressive. Henderson looking to take it in, but there'll be 2 shots as Wakeman looked like she stood there but might have put the body in a little too much.
You know, I agree with you on that. I thought she may have had her feet set, but the refs are calling her for a foul.
Well, either way, Henderson will have 2 shots. Dropped.
Substitution for the Panthers. Back in the game.
Wakeman subbing out. And coming in for her is number 41, Murphy. Henderson making both of her free throws. Great start to the second half for the Orioles. Ludke coming down fairly quickly. Zickerman taking the 3-point, a little long. Getting the rebound, bringing it back out, but we'll see a travel there by Murphy.
Like I said, a lot of mechanic calls tonight. You know, those travels, those
Oh, yeah.
carries, like passes and everything. So both teams, you know, just need to slow it down.
Eder with the throw-in. Getting it to her post, but a little flustered. Panthers end up stealing the ball. They're going to wait and set up. A shot underneath. Great way to work it in by Semenko.
Now, those top of the key to block passes are a lot of times dangerous, especially once you get to the upper levels. But I feel like that was a good take. She placed it in the right spot so that Semenko, you know, didn't have to fear any interference from the Orioles.
Once again, Panthers coming at him.
Wow.
Great teamwork, great pass.
Another great pass from Jamie Beck to Semenko from the top of the key down to the block. They're definitely building that chemistry right now. They're totally on the same level.
Second one in a minute. Semenko was able to get underneath. Henderson looking for another short shot, but pressured. She'll pass it back out. Mara Henderson at the top, waiting for them to settle down and set up.
Yeah, there's no shot clock in high school girls basketball. So if you need to regroup, you got all the time in the world. Kick it back out to your point and settle down.
Zickerman for the layup, getting Chuching. She made it look easy. Mara Henderson, waiting for them to set up again. Henderson getting back to Scholes, getting it underneath to their post and drawing the foul. Murphy will get a personal foul there.
Take a look, see if Murphy reached in, and it looked like she did. You know, it's a strong, it's a very thin line between, you know, keeping those arms straight up.
And she moved the body with the shot, so it's kind of a tough thing when you're a post. So you always want to go with it. See a lot of substitutions coming in. 23 for the Orioles. It's Eder coming back in. Shot's good. Teenan with the ball. Loisel getting it down low to Murphy with a great fadeaway. It's a good interview with Bryn Murphy at half. She seems so relaxed.
Yes, she's only a sophomore, so I was very impressed by her poise on and off the court. She seems like a confident girl. We'll take a look here. More defensive pressure by Bryn Murphy. You know, in the first half, she was getting called for those blocks. In the second, it looks like she just needs to make sure her feet are set
Straight
and she's
up.
not getting those any reaching fouls.
Layup. Not good. We'll see them slow it down, break it down, get it back down to Wakeman with that 2-point shot there, making it 50-20.
I have to give credit to Jenna Murphy on that. Bryn Murphy's little sister, it was a great pass down low for her.
Wakeman did a very good job moving her feet, and they were able to steal the ball. Teenan throwing it down low, getting it to Wakeman, and it would be a call pushing on, I'm not quite sure, there was a lot of action going on down there. As you just heard, call will be on Olsen.
Substitution in.
Take another look. Wakeman getting it down low. You know, she wasn't in a good position to make the shot, but by drawing the foul, it really justifies the take.
Right. Loisel getting it, trying to get it down low, but accidentally throwing it out. Orioles ball. Henderson. Ooh, stuffed again by Murphy.
I feel like this is just a block highlight in the making.
Right.
Another thing, I said this earlier, Bryn Murphy isn't afraid to take those outside shots, which is huge for her height. If she can knock down those outsiders, she's going to be, you know, a threatening player.
Scholarship material.
Scholarship material in the making.
Right. Mara Henderson looking to bring it back out for the three-point shot. Just missed. Wakeman using her size, getting that rebound. Murphy down low was available and one.
Take a look at this replay right here. Check out that cross-court pass from Spring Lake Park down to Bryn Murphy down low, and you know that's huge that she finishes it. This is not the position that the Orioles want to be in right now with the time stopped and Spring Lake Park on the line.
Looks like they caught the ball out of bounds, so it'll stay there and be Panthers ball. Teenan will throw it in. Hear the Orioles talking a lot more on defense.
Good to see this late in the game, and even how much they're down with, like, you have to keep that communication up.
Right. And that's one thing the Panthers have been good at as well. They've been playing together since 9th grade, and 6 of them are seniors, so they communicate well, their coach had said. Mara Henderson with the rebound, looking to take it down and all the way with the foul. Wakeman, blatant foul there. We'll have to wait and see if Mara Henderson's okay. But what a gutsy move, you know, she got the rebound, took it all the way back down.
Check out this replay. Mara going in for the drive. Big foul there by Christina Wakeman. But you know, it's hard because at this level, you want to make sure the foul is justified. If you're going to follow them, make sure that they don't make it and get the N1. But at the same time, there's that thin line where what's too hard.
Absolutely. Little flustered, Mara Henderson took one shot. She'll have one more. Panthers waiting for that opening. Working it around the arch, getting it down to their post. Wakeman getting it back out for a short jump shot. On the ground, both teams fighting for that ball, but we'll see a little late call on the Panthers.
For how many fouls it seems like that are happening tonight. Right now, both teams only sit at 4 team fouls for the half.
Well, you know, the first half we did see bonus for both sides, so who knows? Hopefully it won't get there. Mara at point. Getting it to her guard. Breaking back in, getting it back out to the key. Wakeman with the rebound, being pressured, and there'll be a foul there, I believe.
Foul on Mara Henderson. Those reaching fouls aren't the fouls that her team needs from her right now. You know, I can justify a foul from her down low, maybe going for the shot, but up there, they need her in this game right now, and those, like I said, her moving her feet is enough.
You know, 20 seconds or so have gone by. She got 2 fouls there. So as you said, you know, it's something they have to be careful about.
Substitution for the Orioles.
We'll see Mara Henderson go out. and Jane Henderson come in.
And that's exactly what I was noting on. She gets 2 fouls, and then her team needs to sit her
Right.
in order to keep her in for the end of the game.
And she's, although she is a freshman, she is all around one of their best players. Great passing and movement by the Panthers, getting that short little layup. Number 23, Murphy. Actually, excuse me, was that Murphy? Well, I guess we'll see later.
I believe so.
Did get a correction, it was Murphy. But once again, we see great passing. Just couldn't finish there by Wakeman. And Wakeman will be called for a pushing foul. Orioles will have it underneath.
Yeah, you know, that was a good call by the refs. Wakeman definitely, I feel like, was going for the ball there, but, you know, her size just took over in that situation, and I feel like the foul was in the right place. She's had a great game so far. 8 rebounds, which is huge,
right,
because Spring Lake Park has been getting those 3rd and 4th shots if they miss their 1st and 2nd in order to get those points on the board.
And not only does this game mean something to her, but every game on, you know, she has a scholarship on the line. She wants to do well. And a lot of them are seniors on Spring Lake Park's team, so they're all looking for potential scholarships, so they're trying to work as hard as they can to get one. Panthers ball. Zickerman can't quite get a hold of it, being pressured by the Orioles. Orioles recover, get the steal, but stole once again by the Panthers. Zickerman passing it back out, getting it underneath to the post, little short post move. But Orioles stealing it twice in a row. Hopefully they don't give it up twice in a row. Short shot, drawing the foul. Number 23, Caitlin Ederer will have 2 shots.
First foul is on Taylor Lascelles.
Caitlin Ederer actually I was told that she is probably the best defensively, you know, and drawing fouls too is something she seems to be good at.
We're seeing a lot of steals throughout everyone tonight. It seems like every time, you know, we're throwing up that graphic, we see steals. And maybe as bold to say, there may be more steals in tonight's game than assists.
Panthers with the rebound. Looks like they're going to take their time and set up. Great pick there. Working it around. Long pass to Zickerman. Beck with the ball. Back to Zickerman. Zickerman breaking it down, bringing it back out. Loisel with the ball, dribbling it. They keep dribbling it back and out until they create that space. Getting it underneath, bringing it back out to Beck. Beck taking that 3-point. Missed there. We'll see who recovers there. Henderson with the ball. Now she'll slow it down, wait for her team to set up. Getting it down to their post, taking another shot there. Great job drawing the foul.
And as we noted earlier, both teams only had 4 fouls. Now they're up to 6 and 7 fouls. We'll take a look at this. Orioles going in for the shot. You know, good help defense by Spring Lake Park. It just seemed like they were drifting more away from her than anything.
Right, and there's Abigail Olsen there taking the shot.
Block star Bryn Murphy back in the game for Spring Lake Park.
Great shot. Panthers coming back very quickly, getting it down to the post, and 1. Number 12, Brianna Semenko.
Take another look here. Pass to Semenko. Goes hard to the basket and gets the shot off, makes it.
That was just pretty.
And
Zickerman getting that short little bounce pass underneath to Semenko. Semenko taking the shot and 1.
Spring Lake Park's passing has improved throughout the game.
Working it around. the arch. Give and go by Henderson. Back up top by Ederer. She needs to hold on to that. Scholes passing it inside. Trying to pass it. Nagorski getting it down low to her post, but just couldn't finish there. Murphy with the ball, getting it to her point guard. Ludke trying to work it around Henderson. Back passing it to Murphy. Murphy with the great shot, just couldn't finish. Zickerman with the shot underneath. Wouldn't drop either. So Orioles will get the rebound, and we'll see if they can turn it around. Henderson taking a far away layup, but she got blocked. But you know what? She recovered, and she's back with the ball. Once again, she's going to bring it inside. That time, getting the foul. Look at her. She kind of made it a one-man team there.
Take another look at Henderson's drive to the basket. That's a pretty strong drive. She started at the top of the key.
Right.
Then, you know, she does get the blocked in, but she comes back with the rebound.
Substitutions in the game for St. Louis Park, number 24, Addie Mae Perkins. And for Spring Lake Park, number 30, number 42, Monica Gibb.
Jane Henderson, 3 points, 1 steal, 4 rebounds. For her size, it's pretty good, 4 rebounds at least. We'll add to that 5 points. Beck with the ball on the outside. She's looking to pass it up top. Deflected by the Orioles. Beck will throw it in from the outside. Ludke to Murphy. Murphy's outside. I think she's trying to draw the defense out. Picked up and shot and rebounded by Murphy. Put back up. That's what posts are supposed to do. She did very well there.
That's why those rebounds are so important.
Look at them just dropping on each player for the Orioles, not giving them any room to take a shot. But unfortunately, they did foul her, so didn't work out there. In for Spring Lake Park, number 20, Haley Myron, and number 34, Kay Wakeman. With the free throw, we got Caitlin Ederer. Another substitution, 33 coming in for the Panthers. Ashley Fleisch Fresher.
It's a tongue twister.
Right.
Now with this big of a lead by Spring Lake Park, you're definitely going to see a lot of girls get some playing time off the bench.
And that's sportsmanship too, you know, especially if they don't usually get playing time, it's a great time to put them in there.
Yeah, build that experience. Like we said, they have 6 seniors on the squad that they'll be missing next year. They got to get some of the younger girls to be more seasoned.
Well, it'll be a traveling call on the Panthers. Orioles with the ball and near side. Perkins getting it into Henderson. Back to Perkins. Trying to work it in. But the defense is there. And it'll be a jump ball. See if they can get it in with all the defense strong there. Taking that little turn around. Great post-up move by Abigail, number 45, Abigail Olsen. Orioles stealing the ball. They'll slow it down. Henderson at the point. Henderson's been known to break in and take those shots. Rebound. Unfortunately, hit the bottom of the basket board.
Substitution for the Orioles in the game number 5, Kayla Eber.
Henderson subbing out. We see number 5 coming in.
Michaela Ebert.
Or not Michaela, I don't know who came in. Waiting, taking a layup, the Panthers. But Orioles got the rebound, but then allowed the ball to go out.
Also in number 35, Hill Walter.
And there is a great basket by number 21, Cassie Cable. Just coming in, making that 3-point shot. Orioles looking to recover and respond, taking that shot. Was good in and out post move. And she'll take 2.
Personal fouls on KU Wingman. Springmike Parker first.
Olsen at the free throw.
Number 14, Tammy Kosovo. Number 25, Taylor Giles. Number 50, Isabella Halstead.
We saw number 14 come in, Tammy. Taylor Giles. Olsen with her second free throw. Great shot. Clock is running, so don't want to waste any time, but she did make that, so it was worth it. All different players out there. 21, Casey Cable passing it back to Myron. Myron working it all the way to the opposite side. Number 33 taking a shot, just missed. We see Cable with the ball up top. Bumped out of her hand, looking to save it, just not soon enough. Michaela Ebert throwing it in. Perkins passing it around. Taking a shot. Not good, but that was number 50, Halstead. Myron passing it back out, getting it to the post. Almost there, just didn't finish yet. Got her own rebound, drawing the foul. She'll take 2. And that is number 34 for the Panthers, Wakeman. Little sister. That one is Kay Wakeman. Shot is good. Another great shot, following in big sister's footsteps. We see 2 different teams out there now as we see all the substitutions came in. They're still both working very hard. And pretty close matched up now. Great rebound for the Orioles, bringing it around, trying to take that little shot. And that will be the game. 63 for the Panthers, 28 for the Orioles. It was quite the game. Fun interaction out there, and we see both teams doing a great job, shaking hands now. There's quite a few girls standing out there. But the fun thing is that we're going to get the opportunity to speak to one of the players. Alicia's getting ready to grab one of the players, and we'll talk to one of them soon. After this short break.
Check it out. Oh, that is magnificent.
Here comes the big one, Elizabeth.
I love it so much. I'm feeling a little guilty on account of me being married. There are 8 wonders in the world.
I can't believe it.
Pinch me. I think I'm dreaming.
Okay.
No, it's real.
Ooh, yes.
My name is Fran Sorensen. I am an artist. I am an educator, and I have been educating students for 25 years. I am also a collector. I collect salt and pepper shakers. I collect postcards. I collect rocks. And I write on the bottom of all my rocks telling where they're from and who they're from. I love square dancing. I make my own TV shows free at North Metro TV, and I love it.
Get started by signing up for free TV production classes at 763-231-2803 or eric@northmetrotv.com.
And we're back just after the game. St. Louis Park 28 to Spring Lake Park 63. We saw some amazing competition out there. The Panthers victorious tonight. We'll have a chance to look at the game summary. Second half here, Brianna Semenko. Looks like she got it up top, passed it underneath. Semenko with that short underneath post-up move, getting that layup. As you see it, just on the opposite side, Semenko once again. Semenko underneath, waiting for that post-up. And one there, baby. Now we have Bryn Murphy, as we spoke to at halftime. Great post there. Fade away, making that shot once again. She's wide open, getting it underneath. Short layup, made it look easy. And look at her celebrating there. And then what's awesome is the fact that we will have the chance to hear from some of the Panthers out on the court with Alicia.
Thank you, Rosie. I'm here with a few happy Panthers after tonight's win. First off, Christine Wakeman, you guys had great blocks tonight, but how important was rebounding?
Rebounding is always important. No matter the team, no matter what's going on, it gets you the ball, it gets everyone motivated and going down the court even faster, and it's no matter what you do, rebounding is always there.
Well said. Alongside is Lexi Ludke, who played quite a bit of point guard tonight. Defense was a huge factor for tonight, but what did you guys do well offensively?
Well, we've been working on shooting a lot and our shooting percentages at practice, so we just try to move the ball, swing it, get into the post. And if you have an open shot, then you just take it.
And then another big girl down low, Bryn Murphy. Your guys' next contest is against North Branch. What are you guys going to do to prepare for that game?
We'll keep working on our shooting percentage and our rebounding.
And you guys had a huge win to Columbia Heights, winning by nearly 50 points. And then tonight's win, another big one. Do you feel like you're building some momentum going through, this last stretch of the season?
Yeah, we're getting to a good rhythm with it, and it's really fun. So.
All right, well, thank you, girls. Congratulations tonight. Back to you, Rosie.
Wow, that was incredible. Some happy girls out there. That was amazing, and we saw some height difference, but we saw Panthers succeed tonight. And, well, everybody have a great night to all the people at North Metro TV. Don't forget to tune in or buy some DVDs at northmetrotv.com.